Hey, so I just got this new Schrade Ultimate Survival SCHF9, and I was really looking forward to getting it, but now once I opened it up, I'm a little bit disappointed. Whenever I pulled it out of the box, it wasn't really that sharp, which I really didn't care too much about. I just kind of thought, well, that sucks, because everybody else talked about how theirs is shaving sharp out of the box. But mine wouldn't really even cut paper, so I just sharpened that up a little bit with one of these kind of sharpeners. Just really simple. But I decided to, once I got that sharpened up a little bit, I took it outside just to kind of chop a little bit of firewood that we had and do a little bit of batoning to try it out. And I don't know, I guess the powdered coating isn't the biggest of deals, but it didn't really hold up past the very first use. And from that, I can already see just a tiny bit of rusting. I don't think you're going to be able to see it on here though. That side, the lighting's not very good in here at all, and the flashlight's not as much help as I thought it would be. But you can see just a tiny bit of brown right there already after just literally just maybe 20 minutes. The other side is a little bit worse actually. There's a little bit more right here, and maybe I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but I don't know, I just kind of figured if it's gonna do that after just maybe a half an hour, then what would it do after a long time? But it does work well, I suppose. Like, I took this outside and it chops like nobody's business. Like, this is just a really good chopper. I guess that's just because of the kind of the belly that it has. Whenever I look at it, I always kind of think of comparing it almost to a kukri. That's what the blade shape kind of reminds me of. And I've never used one, but everybody says that kukris have a sweet spot that's like right around here, kind of almost like right about where the belly starts. And that's where I was chopping with this, and it worked really well. I took down a few maple saplings, a couple, a dried up dead oak trunk, and a little bit of maybe like 2.5 3 inches of locust firewood that we had out there. It chopped through all that pretty easily. The batoning was really good, and a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but a few people that I've started reading their reviews on after I opened this up and got a little bit disappointed with it, was people said that they thought that the advertised 1 pound is probably less than what it actually is. They said it felt really heavy, like closer to 2, and I really don't know about that. Like, I don't think I would be a good judgment on how heavy it is. But once I strapped it to my leg, it pretty much, I didn't really feel it at all whenever I was walking through the woods. So, I mean, maybe if you're just holding it, it does feel kind of heavy, but if you keep holding it for a few minutes, it doesn't get any heavier. It starts feeling lighter the more you hold it, though. But if you do use the leg tie, it feels pretty weightless. But the real reason that I can't decide whether or not I want to keep it or not is this gimping really digs into your palms. I've got a little band-aid right there from whenever I went outside and started testing it out. This really kind of digs into your hands. So unless you've got like really worn and tough callous skin, you probably don't want to use one of these at all without gloves. And I didn't find that out until later, but then once I started looking at the blade again, I noticed that the tip, where's the camera? Okay, the tip is not really even. I'm not sure if you can tell from this side or not, but right there you can kind of see where one side, the angles don't really match up, and you can see here that looks pretty normal all the way through. It's pretty flush, I guess, but on the other side you can see a pretty noticeable difference in the angle of the edge, and I'm not sure if that's really a problem or not, but I don't know how I feel about it right now. And if you look at it head on, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find a good light to try and show you this. You can see all that now. The edge differences on either side, and I've not seen that in any of the videos of this knife that I've watched, and that was one of the things that I thought maybe I don't know if I want to keep it or not. That was the main reason, is just because of what I'm pretty sure is a factory flaw. But I do suppose that you get what you pay for with this, but I was honestly kind of expecting a little bit better quality. So, I don't know. So just, if you're thinking about getting one of these, keep that in mind. But this may just be the 1 out of 10 knives that's like this, because every other review that I've seen of this knife, they said it was great, and it does work well. But I spent probably a good 45 minutes sharpening it, and I still can't get it to even cut paper. But that might just be because of the 1095. So if you're looking to get one of these, just keep those things in mind, and leave a comment down below to maybe let me know what I should do, or if you think that it would be best to just try exchange it or just return it. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards returning it, and then just waiting to see if I find anything else that I'd rather have. And I would like to keep this knife. It's just, I don't know, there's a few things that I don't know how I feel about yet. But I've still got about 60 days, or I think it's 60 days from the order date, so maybe a little bit less. So I might just keep seeing how it does, and then decide whether or not I want to keep it. But that's pretty much my first impressions of it right now, and they're not really that great. So thanks for watching, and I guess I will see you guys around.